Okie dokie. No problem. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening from wherever you are in the world. This is the Health and Wellness Hour, and it's normally Alison Dawkes who's running this, but it's Ian Reid who's running it. He's a very trusty assistant. So I'm just here just to introduce Steffi Lewis, who is our keynote speaker today. Steffi is from YourPIng. Now, what does YourPIng mean? Let's find out. Steffi, over to you.
Thank you very much. And I'm just going to share my screen and sort out what I can see. And that way I know what's going on. Right. Hello, everybody. I'm Steffi Lewis. I am a 33-year veteran web developer, and I have a number of SaaS products, as they call them, software as a service. It's stuff that you sign up to, then subscribe. Zero is SaaS. It's exactly the same thing. This is my latest offering. This is a business to consumer product. It's my first one because normally I do business to business. And it addresses something that I've been worried about for a while. So, what is it? It's called YourPIng. And it's because somebody should notice if you don't check in. So, it's a UK only at the moment daily check-in system for people who live alone, work remotely, sometimes go for days without speaking to friends or family. And they want the reassurance that someone will notice if they don't check in. And why did I build it? Well, I've always had a worry. That's me sitting on the sofa. That's what I'm looking like in the evenings in my pajamas. Actually, I look like that most of the day. I've always had this worry of what would actually happen if something went wrong at home. Now, imagine it's Friday night. I'm on the landing. I've been to the loo. I fall over a cat and go head first down the stairs. Or I go to bed and I just don't wake up. Um, in most cases, if you've got people who love you and families and stuff, it wouldn't be very long. But there's a lot of people who live alone and they could go for days, weeks, sometimes even years. There was a poor story of a lady called Joyce. She wasn't discovered for 2 years because all her friends thought, oh, she just moved on or she's not talking to us anymore. So most people, for me, would be going, where's Steffi? Where's Steffi on a Monday morning when they didn't get the blog posts? But, I'd rather my best mate find out about me keeling over within a few hours. And that's what YourPIng does. So who's it for? Those living alone. Yes, that's me. Working from home. Also me. Have a small support network. Yeah, all my family's in Australia. So I've got a couple of friends that I rely on, distant family members, obviously. And we can go for days without talking to anybody else. And it's true, we can go for days, mostly because I'm an introvert, but that's the way it goes. How does it work? Well, you sign up and you go in and you set it up so you can actually put all your details in before you subscribe. You get up to 3 check-ins per day. So morning, afternoon, and evening. They don't have to be morning, afternoon, and evening, but you can have one, two, three, and you create the sequences. Now, if it's for you or if it was for me, I could choose my browser to pop up with a message and say, how you doing? If it's for an elderly person, well, they wouldn't use browser push. They just rely on text message or something like that. And also there's email in there as well as a bit of a backup. So depending on your tech level, then you can use different ways. The clever thing is, if after a certain time it doesn't hear from you, so you haven't responded to it, it'll just tell all your trusted contacts. Simple as that. So my best mate, if I don't respond within an hour, my best mate gets a message and she's usually on the phone going, you're right. Simple as that, really. It actually happened the other day. I was building some furniture in my front bedroom, left my phone downstairs, and she was actually driving past. She was knocking on the door, going, "You're right, I'm from you, Mr. Check-in." So here's an example check-in sequence. So let's say this is the morning one. So it's at 9 o'clock in the morning. You just choose what time you want. Push one, two, and three. So you can have up to 3 push devices. Ignore that if you don't know what it is, but you can jump straight to SMS. So with the start time being 9, the SMS would go out 15 minutes later. So it would actually go out at 9:15. And in my case, I've got email going out 30 minutes and reach out on 3 hours. Most people probably set that to 1 hour. So from a tech point of view, so for somebody who's technical, they'd use the whole sequence. An elderly person, or even a student at uni, they probably just want a text message. Makes life a lot easier. So, like I said, what happens if I don't check in? Well, if you miss a check-in, your ping notifies your trusted contacts after a certain time and asks them to reach out to you. So they can actually have either email or text, SMS, or both. It's entirely up to you. Um, and there's plenty of reasons why you wouldn't check in. Busy life, stress, daily life, sometimes it just gets too busy, like when I was building furniture. Physical causes, you might have fallen down the stairs or fallen over in the living room, can't reach your phone, fallen in the garden. There's loads of different things, or even mental health issues. Sometimes we all need a duvet day. And if we don't want to answer the phone, it's always nice if there's somebody there who will notice. That's the main thing. And when you're setting up, Amy's here. So Amy is my OG chatbot, as I call her. She's super intelligent, fully trained, and occasionally witty as well. She's got a sense of humor. Why? Because it's all my knowledge in her. That's why. She knows your ping inside out, every feature, setting, and quirk, and she's already there to help you. Just look in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. You'll see she's wearing her Your Ping t-shirt. And obviously, if you need help for beyond that, you can reach out to me on WhatsApp mostly, and I'll be there to help. We're working towards net zero. So, like I said, I have other products as well. I've got multiple servers with different products on them, but they're all adding up to the counter. So every web page view, every blog view, every time somebody loads a page in your ping, your bot, or your PCM, it adds up to the counter. Trees are planted, but every new subscriber to your ping gets a proper tree planted for them as well, and it'll even give you the certificate so you can offset that against carbon credits. So I'm committed to net zero by offsetting the footprint of our website servers and the technology we use every day. And now, because I finished it today, I actually finished it over the weekend, but I've been testing it. Welcome to the new group mode. So currently, I've been talking about the individual check-in. So it's either you or somebody you love, and you have multiple trusted contacts. With this, it works slightly differently because it's one person. You set up multiple group members who are reached to by SMS, and then at the certain time, after an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, you get a text message to tell you who's checked in, who's not checked in, who's checked in yes, who's checked in no, and you get a proper email that lists everybody. So it says, for example, Steffi checked in yes, perfectly happy. Jane checked in no, she's not happy. There's the phone number. Click the button, make a call, see how she's doing, that sort of thing. Group mode is for charities, independent living charities, for community-focused organisations and other support groups. But also it's for your local vicar who wants to check in on all his elderly constituents in the village, or even the GP, or even the PCSO or police officer who looks after your village. If you've got vulnerable people in your village, then this will be really, really cool, and it will just look after it. And of course, for group mode, because you'll be working with lots of people, it's billed in arrears, but there's also, you can just start with 10 and try it out and see if you like it. But there's also a hefty discount available because I know charities are very money sensitive at the moment. And that's it. Thank you very much. There's my website, www.yourping.uk. Please remember, it is UK only at the moment. We can't send text messages outside the UK because it's blooming expensive. So I need to figure out how to do that at some point. Because somebody should notice if you don't check in. That's my tagline. But my development tagline when I was writing this thing was because I don't want my cats to eat my face. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Steffi. Brilliant. If you could stop sharing your screen, we'll get some questions. I'm sure there's a few people that would like to ask a few things of you. Anyone would like to talk to Steffi about that and ask any further questions or have any observations? Yeah, Kathy Weaver, come off of mute.
Hey, Steffi,
Okay.
thank you so much for that information. That was awesome. And the rest of the story is, what is the average age of your clients now?
Funnily enough, it's mostly grown children looking after the elderly parents at the moment. So I've got a couple of home workers using it, and they're giving me good feedback. But the most people who subscribe, they're checking in on elderly parents, like elderly mum, elderly dad. Now, some of them are tech savvy, some of them aren't.
Right. I was
So
going to ask that part. Yeah.
yeah, so they can either click a link in the message to check in. It opens a browser window if they've got a smartphone. If they don't have a smartphone, they can just reply yes or no, and it actually works for them as well. So it depends on, how old the person is we're looking after, what level of tech savvy technology they've got. But it's mostly elderly parents at the moment.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for that question, Kathy. Anybody else got any questions? Oh, you're a quiet lot today. You've covered everything, Steffi, by the looks of things.
No,
Oh, we
I
have.
just
No, I have
No,
one.
okay. Go on then,
Yeah.
Laura.
Uh, we've had recently a few issues with my dad. Steffi, I think your idea is awesome.
thank you.
No, I really do. And I think the fact that you've kind of detracted it from being medical is a very smart move.
No, I'm not going there. I don't want to open that
Yeah,
can of
because
legislation.
otherwise you're going to get into all that kind of shite.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
reassurance tool, not a medical device.
exactly. I would love this to work for my dad. The problem is he won't even use a very basic mobile phone. We have tried this for years and he just won't use it. It was just like, okay, Dad, this is a very basic. It's like one of the ones we used to have back in the early 90s, right? So it was just text and calls. That was it.
Yeah.
Won't use it, won't use it. There is absolutely no point at all in trying to convince him. He
Well,
won't even pick up the landline.
well, unless we knocked on his door and
Yeah.
slapped him in the
So I
face.
think that might be a little bit of a marketing hill for you to pitch it to people who are excuse me, over a certain age. That's just my advice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the thing is that I mean everybody's different, you've got people who are 95, 100 years old and they're completely on the ball and tech
Yeah,
savvy using a
yeah, yeah,
smartphone,
yeah,
and then on the other side of the scale you've got, a 50-year-old who won't pick up the phone or something like that. So
yeah.
yeah,
It's
it's
not
not
one
for
size
everybody.
fits all.
No.
It's never going to be like that.
Now, one thing I have thought about doing, and it's possible to do with AI now, is actually get it to make a phone call and speak to the person.
How does that work?
Well, the phone will ring and they pick it up and go, hello.
Or the
And it'll say,
landline?
yeah, or a landline or a mobile. And it'll just say, hi, YourPING here. We're just checking in this afternoon. Just want to make
Great.
sure you're okay. Now, whatever they say, we can then let AI process that into a sentiment.
Right.
And if they sound fine, it goes, yes, they've checked in, yes. Or if there's a
That's
sentiment
really
for no.
good.
Yeah, but still, if your dad won't answer the phone, that won't work.
No, it won't.
Now,
I
if
think
you,
that's just a little bit of a blip you're going to have, but
I think that's only a few people, though, Laura, to be honest.
yeah, no, I'll be honest,
But,
Sean.
they need to
Honestly, that is only going to be a few people going, and this sounds really depressing, going forward the next 5 years, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. That's not going to be an issue for you, Steffi, is it?
I think that as well, Laura, without sounding derogatory or hard in any way, shape, or form, but if a person has got to the point where they won't use their phone,
Yeah,
they don't use any technology,
yeah,
and they're vulnerable, yeah, then they probably need to be actually cared for in an environment where there's carers around them all the time, as in going into a
yeah,
care home. And that is that step where they haven't got the ability to go, to look after themselves or even reach out to say there's something wrong.
yeah.
Kate Reeve, you've got a question.
All right.
Yes, thank you. Say, or as Laura's saying, that's the difference between requiring something like a medical button, where literally they push it if they've fallen or something, which I've known a number of elderly people to have, grandparents and great grandparents. But yeah, this is phenomenal, Steffi. I've been impressed with this right from the concept of it. And I know I think am I right in saying that really you're envisioning a slightly younger market with this? So people very much like all of us on the call today, but those who are living alone at home and
It
got family they can.
started like that. I was quite happy to just set it up for home workers and introverts, But then my best friend signed a mum up, and she's just been using it beautifully. And I just went, checking in 3 times a day. And I just went, okay, well, let's expand it to cover, elderly parents, kids at university, van lifers as well, because they're on their own a lot. And so
Yeah.
there's quite a market for the individual version. But now, and I always envisaged that I was going to do the group version because it's pretty much two sides of the same coin. There's
Yeah.
individual and there's group, and you just when you sign up, you just choose which one you want. You subscribe to whichever side, it hides the other one. So if you're doing group, then you don't need individual, that sort of thing. So the remit has expanded since the last time you saw me demo it.
Wow. I think it's amazing because, I mean, to expand that out and even families, people are not on their own. And what was going through my mind when you were talking earlier was actually schools. When you realize how many people in this country are actually missing, and very often children never found, especially we won't even go to the global market. When children get to school, they do the register. They're either here or they're not. Children walk off to school and the parents don't know until they don't come home that they never got to school. And I had a vision of this almost as a school register on a tablet. Tick, tick,
That's
tick,
how
tick.
I
And if
envision
they're
it.
not there, it double checks with the parents. But I
Well,
don't know if it's a security issue.
exactly. So I called it when originally the project's called Roll Call. So it's the same
Yeah.
thinking that you've got. So a family might set a check-in. So a mum in the family might check in on all her family members at 9 o'clock. Are you okay? You're okay. Now, if the kids walk into school, they get to school at 9 o'clock. Hopefully they won't get the phone taken off them by the school, but they can just reply, "Yeah, I'm here." So it works. There's a whole range of things it works. Young people don't want more than a text message.
No,
If
if you, in my head, I was visioning almost the teacher of every class with a tablet and a class list going tick, 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 not here. And then that one checking with the parents, did they actually come to school today? They could just go yes or no, just as a
Yeah.
thought for future development. It was just going through my head. And that way, children who have gone missing or something is wrong, or they've decided to go off mental health breakdown, suicidal, or autistic wandering, as we talk about. There's a lot of children like that where maybe that time is of the essence between leaving for school and finding out they never got there at the end of the day. So it was just a thought, and again,
Um,
even families themselves knowing that we're all okay. So it's phenomenal work, Steffi, really is.
Thank
And
you. Thank you very much.
I think
anything.
also, Steffi, I'm sorry to interrupt, Kay, but I think we're
No, that's right.
kind of both on the same wavelength here. Is my autistic son, and when we're going through all the shit, when he was running off from school, he was running out of the school boundaries. He went missing several times. We had to call the police. The police helicopter came out overnight down dangerous roads. He would not carry a mobile phone. He has absolutely no interest, and to this day, he doesn't. To me, that is quite a big market that you could potentially tap into because not every child on the autistic spectrum will not carry a mobile phone. A lot of them will.
Mm.
And I think that's a huge market. And I know that Kay will agree with me on this, that is massive. It is massive. I mean, the amount of times I'd been up all night, bloody police helicopter going to look for my son. It's
Yeah,
terrifying. It's
yeah.
terrifying.
Well,
Yeah.
if they don't carry a phone, there's obviously nothing I can do with it. But
No, I know. So
if you
I'm
wanted
trying to
to,
kind of figure out how that
if your
A lot of
son,
them will, though. That's the thing.
yeah. So if your son does interact with the phone quite okay, and he's capable of just replying yes or no,
Yeah, my
then
son's.
the individual version would work for you.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
thing, you just check in 3 times a day. It's 9.99 for 3 times a day.
yeah.
You know, for the whole
I
month.
just think you need to. I think it's a really, really good tool that could be really useful for kids on the autistic spectrum that might do that,
Yeah,
that
if they're
would
happy to
carry a
do the
mobile
thing.
phone. And I think that's
Mm.
something that you might, maybe
But
think about.
yeah,
Well,
my
again, it's down to
yeah,
the charity. It's
yeah.
down to the charity. So what I say to charities is, look, come on board, run it for a month with 10 people, see what you think, and if you like it, just expand it from there,
Yeah.
and if you've got 50 service users or 100, it'll cope with all of them.
Mm.
Mm.
Cool. Any other questions from anybody? No? Okay, so we'll finish the recording here and now. Thank you to Steffi Lewis from YourPING. You can find out more on www.yourping.uk. Don't forget to when you go in there, if you need to ask Amy anything, she'll be there to help you along as well. Thank you very much, Steffi. Big round of applause for Steffi Lewis. Great presentation, my lovely. Thank you.